Can't make no.
Welcome to another episode of Sweet 915. This is your host, Curtis Smith, and my co-host.
It's me, Fedora.
It's me, Fedora. Hey, Fedora, how you doing?
I'm good, Curtis. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
It's good to be here today. It's Sunday,
Is it,
relaxation. Uh,
is it football Sunday?
well,
No.
it is, but I didn't watch any games this whole weekend because my team is not playing. So
Oh,
it is
okay.
what it is. I like the sport, but it's more exciting when my team is playing. So
Oh, okay.
congratulations to those teams that won. So hopefully after the show, I'll check out see who won between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from your
Mhm.
state of Florida, the Sunshine State, and New Orleans Saints. So
Okay.
this will be their like third or fourth matchup this year. And oh boy, out of New Orleans has won all of the meetings against Tom Brady, but it's good. They're Hall of Famers, so um, I wish them the best. Both of them are good quarterbacks, good teams. So hopefully they'll win. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day celebration.
Yep.
What are your plans?
Well, my plans are I signed up online to do things that are in your area. So it's going to be a Zoom call
Mhm.
on back, I guess, experience of um, back in the day experiences, and they're going to have different speakers on. So,
Oh,
I,
outstanding.
yeah, I'll send you the link. I signed
Yeah.
up for that.
Okay.
Um,
I'll check it out.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to look it up on my phone because they sent me a confirmation.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I have a friend that's going down to the homeless center downtown, the independent living center,
Hmm.
going down and to feed the homeless at noon. So I might go down there and help him out a little bit.
Oh,
He,
okay.
he does a lot of stuff out of his pocket, um, out of the kindness of his heart. He sometimes he partners with Carl Robinson. So hopefully,
Huh.
if he give me the time where he's going to be, I'll swing down there for a little bit and you know
Help out.
feed the homeless. Let him know we caring about him. So some of the new things that's going on. Kids heading back to school,
Yep.
like in school.
Yep.
Really? Can you
Yeah.
tell me a little
Teachers
bit
were
about
back
that?
on Thursday. Well,
This
we had to
year?
go back. We had to go back on campus on Thursday, face to face.
So, what-
Um,
so what are your feelings about that?
I
You,
mean,
you
it
scared?
is what it is. No, I mean, because I protect myself. I double mask. I have my face shield when the kids come back.
Uh-huh.
Um, I have my face shield on. So they come back on Tuesday.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so we have not all of the kids. It's only certain groups of
Okay.
kids
Like an
that are
A and
coming
B day
back.
type of thing.
Well, yeah, we have A day, B day.
Okay.
So not really, but it's a certain group of kids. So we've color coded them. So
Okay.
whichever color you are, those two colors are allowed to be on campus. But for the majority,
Mhm.
I guess about 95% probably are still online.
Okay.
So we will be doing both. So the kids that come to school will have to bring their devices with them, and still will be there, spread out. But the only thing is you'll be able to monitor them and say, hey, are you having difficulty? Why are you not answering this question? You can use your notes, help them out that way, but they still have to input the answers online. So they
Oh,
need their devices, bring them to school with them.
outstanding.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, we back in school.
Yep.
You got your shot yet?
What shot? My flu shot? No.
Fedora,
I've been
I'm not messing
tested.
with you today.
I've been tested and
We
it's
go.
negative. So, hey, I have been tested. I'm good. So I will get all the tests in the world.
We go
I'm
move on to
jumping
the
down.
upcoming
Yeah, you
topic.
better leave me alone, Curtis. I
We're gonna
told
move
you.
on to the upcoming topic because I'm gonna ask you every week until you get the
I
shot.
told you I'm feeling some type of way about when you asked me that and the look on your face. So
I'm
leave
just
me alone.
asking.
Yeah, I know. I
So
know you
so so I
heard
was I was on the VA town hall meeting, and I'm at
me.
the bottom of the list. I got to wait till everybody that's a little older, that have underlying health conditions,
Mhm.
Those that constantly visit the VA hospital, those
Mhm.
come first, and then they'll get to us, the
Okay.
regular veterans that you know got aches and pains and things like that.
Mhm. You upset about that?
Oh no, no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Let them go ahead and get theirs, and you
Mhm.
you you as well. You're important, so you go ahead and get yours, and then
No, you're important too, Curtis.
okay, all right. But anyway,
Everybody's important.
once again, some of the requests are from the young people, young adults, 18 to 25. And we still want to talk about online dating with you all, the pros and cons. Should we wait until we're settled in our lives before seeking a committed relationship? And I think it's very good that we talk about that with the young people because this what's the generation gaps that we have. So
Mhm.
hopefully we get some young people to come on and talk about that online dating during the pandemic,
Or
and
they might not call it dating anymore. We got to find out the right
oh
word.
yeah,
They
they got
might call it something else.
they always
Vibing
do
or
that.
whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, they got so many new slangs.
Names.
Got to stay
Yeah.
on top of it as a parent.
Yeah. So we got to make sure that we're calling it right online, whatever they call it.
Yeah, yeah.
Vibing, hooking up, connecting. I don't know.
Next month, Black History Month. We will have some special features throughout the month of February, celebrating Black History Month. We'll feature we have some of our guests who are listed in El Paso Black Pages. If you haven't submitted your business, please do so at elpasoblackpages.com. So if you have a black business here in El Paso, there you go, elpasoblackpages.com. Submit your business so people will know that there are black owned businesses in El Paso and you can get the support that you need from
Mhm.
everybody. Women's History Month. We are excited to team up with the epwomen.com to feature some amazing women during Women's History Month. So subscribe and stay tuned for that. But today's topic, Fedora, is gonna be good. Girl, it's gonna
Mhm.
be good. You want me to tell you what it's about?
Go ahead, Curtis.
I'm gonna tell you what it's about degrees. People that have degrees don't degrade. Can a person with no normal education be more intelligent than a person with a college degree? How often should you not assume that a person lacks intelligence to speak on a topic just because they are void of college degrees? So let's talk about it. And let's bring
Mhm.
our special guest. Oh, she okay. Well, let's we're gonna give her a minute, and then we're gonna bring her on because, like I said, this is gonna be good.
Mhm.
And because like you, I'm around some people that have various degrees, and they they feel as if sometimes that because you can't relate to them, they can't associate with you. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
sometimes you have to look at them and say, okay, well, I'm good with that.
Okay.
You know, you having 6 degrees, 5 degrees, 4 degrees, 3 degrees does not move me. Because guess what? At the end of the day, like we're gonna talk about, does that degree give you all of the knowledge in the world when you lack some other things? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Like
And
common sense,
common sense, can't
life
stay in a
experience.
relationship, can't stay in a relationship because your focus is not there. You know,
Mhm.
um, those things like that. So hopefully, the guest that we have today will be able to give us some insight on some of the things that we want to talk about. And then
Mhm. How do you feel about that though? Because you
for
have a degree.
me, for me, I don't feel a need to brag about your degrees, especially when we're having a general conversation.
Mhm.
To say, especially if you're just talking in general and giving advice, I don't think that because you have a degree that my opinion doesn't matter. So
Yep.
sometimes you have to I step away from the conversation when you start talking about, well, I have a degree in business management, so I know what I'm talking about. Got it.
So you're like, but
That's
see,
what I and that's what I do. I say, I
mhm.
don't. Yeah, how are we gonna talk about that? we're gonna talk about that because I wrote down some notes. I wrote down some notes when we talk about what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Degrees don't
they
equal
do.
success or dollars.
Yep, they do
So,
not. Because
um,
most people are not even working into the degree that they went to school for.
yeah,
So, like, a
and that's
lot of
one
people
thing.
have degrees and they are not even using those degrees because they can't get employment in them because of
Say it
this
again.
area or whatever.
Say it
So,
again.
you go to school, you do these things to better yourself.
Hmm.
Yes. However, the degree should not make the person. The degree is just a piece of paper. Yes, you've gone, to school to get this degree. You're a master at that particular whatever, you got it in.
Right.
If you got a master's or a bachelor's, but
Hmm.
that does not, I guess, trump your character,
Yeah.
or the type of person that you are. You may be a philanthropist and may not have a degree, but you've done all these, outstanding things in society or to groups and help people. And you have life experience. So
Hmm.
that makes you no less than a person or greater than a person who has a degree. And
Yeah.
so when people try to get like on their high horses or whatever, like, oh, I'm such a much.
Yeah.
No, check yourself,
Yeah.
because if you have no common sense or no life experience, you can have all the book sense in the world, but you won't be able to survive out here in this world.
Right. Right.
You're going to be lacking some things, and you may kind of look dumb and stupid in some situations,
Yeah.
like a fish out of water,
Right.
right? You don't
Right.
have, and you can have all the book smarts in the world, but if you can't figure it out and
Yeah.
be able to apply it
Hmm.
to life or help someone, just like teaching, you can be the smartest person in the world at something, but
Yeah.
if you are not able to teach someone else how to do that
Hmm.
or explain it to them in their language, then you shouldn't be one of the people that teach.
Okay.
You might know your stuff, but if you can't explain it to somebody and for another person to be able to get it, then go do something else. You know what I mean? So just because you have a degree and you're super smart at something doesn't mean that you can show or teach someone else how to do it, or that you're better than someone else.
So we have Howard in the chat room. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask Howard, what do you think about people that when you have your business already established, they come in and they try to critique your business because they have 2 degrees in that field. Say, for instance, business business management and human resources, and then they come in and tell Howard how he needs to upgrade his appearance of his clothes, or how he should, because I got a business degree and you know what I'm saying, entrepreneurship or whatever.
I like his response. He say people who say they have a degree
Uh-huh.
say that because they have no real solution. People who
Wow.
just do what needs to be done may or may not. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he says if someone were to say that to him, he welcomes different perspectives.
Hmm.
So that's good. So you can always learn from someone. I feel that. You can always learn from another person. And
Right.
if they're saying something to you, I guess constructive criticism, then it's always okay and good to take that, that criticism, look at it and see if take some others' opinions and see if that is true. Because sometimes you just have haters, haters
Mhm.
gonna hate.
Right.
So for you to take that and not be defensive or what have you, and just say, okay, thank you, I'll
Mhm.
take that into consideration, and then go get a second opinion. And then if something needs to be upgraded, then go back later and say, hey, thanks, man, for noticing that. I appreciate that, and keep it moving.
Okay.
But not just because you have a degree, that you know something better than somebody else. That's what yeah.
Okay.
And then when you get a degree, you need to know why you're getting it. I think he said that earlier. Know what is your goal? What is your focus?
Yeah.
Just like when you've had a master's degree, and some people say, oh, you should go get your PhD. And then you really need to sit down and think, why are you getting that PhD?
Mhm.
What is it for? Is it for that extra zero on your salary,
Mhm.
or is it for yourself? What is it for?
Mhm.
What is it? Do you want to floss with it? Be like, oh, I got, what is that for? So yeah, you need to know within yourself.
Well, our special guest is ready to come on, so we'll let her come on and introduce herself and tell us a little bit. Hey, how you doing?
Hi,
Hi,
y'all. How are you?
I'm good.
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 Say your name for me, because I'm
It
always
is it is Sharon. Last name is
Sharon.
Parham. Yes.
That's a new way to spell Sharon.
Indeed it is. Unique spelling for a unique person.
All
Hey,
right.
that's the positive vibe we like to hear. That's what I'm talking about. She's sure about herself. That's what I'm talking about. So,
And
welcome to the show, Sharon.
well, thank you
Uh,
for having me.
hey, so tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and a little bit about your background. Share it with the people.
Oh, geez. I am, again, my name is Sharon Parham. I am an entrepreneur. I also work full time as an insurance individual,
Hmm.
not selling insurance, but also what I do is basically train providers. In my 9 to 5, I train providers on our system for my corporate job.
Hmm.
But for my side businesses, I make and create things. You dream it, I make it. Kind of like Walter E. Smith. But
Hmm.
in the term of in the form of more of the black uh creations. So
Hmm.
t-shirts, pretty much you name it, I do it.
Okay. Okay. Hey,
Mhm.
saying
Howard
hey,
says hi.
hey. So, Sharon, do you
Yes,
have
sir.
a degree?
I do not have a degree. I have a degree in life.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good stuff. A degree in life. Hey, that's the first for that's the first. So today's topic is about people that have degrees that talk about make other people feel less than important because they don't have a degree. For instance, you have all these business ventures and you're an entrepreneur with no college degree. So the first question I'm going to ask is, when engaging in conversation, whether it be politics, your professional business, personal, uh, and people use their time to talk about their academic background or accomplishments uh, in such a way it monopolizes discussion because it becomes about them. Do you agree? Okay, you agree with that?
Well, sometimes, yes, they can do
Sometimes.
that. Hmm.
Okay. So, what they've done. So, how do you what do you say to these people at the time? At what point do you bring in awareness to them to let them know, hey, I don't have a degree, but I have this, or I've accomplished this, or that.
Well, for me personally,
Okay.
if someone is speaking solely of their degrees and their accomplishments, and always dominating the conversation.
Mhm.
You're going to get 1 or 2 times to be able to do that with me. I'm just saying you'll get 1 or 2.
Okay.
First time you may just be, you just may be talking.
Right.
Mhm.
Second time, I'm privately, I'm going to make you aware. Hey, you every time we talk about something, it's always about you. Now, third time, we're going to have, a bust out, because when you're talking, I'm gonna be like, hey, this ain't about you right now. We asking a question. We talking about this, that, and the other. This don't have nothing to do with you. So let's continue on with the matter at hand.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that's how I would handle it.
Okay. So I'm just give you a scenario. We're at a banquet. We're at a
Hmm.
scholarship banquet talking about kids and let's say Howard Covington comes in. He wants to present a $5,000 scholarship to a kid to enter college to do whatever they want. And someone at the table talks about, well, he need to take that money and go into engineering because I have an engineering degree and so and so and so, or business management. Take that money, and then the conversation turns about what they have going on. But you're at a scholarship banquet talking about, you know, Mr. Covington giving this guy a $5,000 scholarship, a young man, so that he could pursue his dreams because he didn't have a lot. But Howard says, I don't have a degree, but I made it, so I want to give somebody an opportunity to establish their foundation so they can be their own entrepreneur, their own boss. But the conversation turns to what this person has, or I have a degree in business management, so um, I know that this person can do this, this is this if they take that money and do whatever. Do you interrupt the conversation and say, you know, I understand what you're saying, but I'm an entrepreneur and I own these businesses because of hard work. Or you just let them talk?
No, 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 no.
No, no, no.
Me being me,
Mhm.
you not just gonna keep on dominating the conversation and making this about you.
Right.
Now, because at the end of the day, whatever you decide to do with your degree and what you feel is what someone should be, what someone should do is not necessarily what they should do. My
Mhm.
path is not your path.
Right.
And at the end of the day, just because you went to school and you got a degree,
Mhm.
how many zeros do you have behind your salary more than I have?
Ooh,
Okay.
you said that.
I'm I'm
You
just
said
saying.
you said that,
Yeah.
Sharon. Hey, you agree with that, Fedora? Because
I
I know
mean,
my girl
yeah.
Fedora, she'll tell it like it is too. I mean, she,
I mean, yeah, it's true. I know some would say, oh, there's people that feel that a lot of people will need a degree in order to move up in, certain positions or what have you in whatever area that they're in, which back in the day for our generation, I believe was true. But
Mhm.
now in this new generation and technology and the computer, a lot of kids don't need a degree. I mean, because they're entrepreneurs. They can get degrees, which will further them in it, which is good because I'm
Mhm.
all for education and you do need some type of paper because that's how society runs.
Mhm.
But a lot of them, not to say that they won't be able to make money to sustain themselves and their family. Nowadays they can. Back in the day with us, and the way I was brought up, yeah, you had to have a degree in order for you to be successful and to be able to take care of family and not just have a job. In order for you to have a career, you
Mhm.
needed a degree. But now with the kids nowadays that's coming into the work field, they can create their own.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because of the worldwide internet. They are entrepreneurs, they are go-getters, they are, on it, on their grind, and they create. They basically, now when you get a degree in it, that enhances it. And I
Mhm.
encourage that for you to get the extra zeros behind it and be able to sell yourself like, I'm worth this, I can do this, I have a degree in that. Yes, you have the upper hand on someone else, but it does not say that just because you do not have a degree that you will not be able to be successful in this life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, and nowadays, now back in my generation, that's all we had. You
Mhm.
had to go to college if you wanted a career. But like I'm saying, this new generation and we're all evolving, I still feel the foundation needs to be education, and you should get either a technical something that's going to, to give you that extra, that leg
Mhm.
up, but you don't have to. Like, because every school is not made for everybody. You can go get a trade
Yeah.
and make just as much or more,
Mhm.
oftentimes more money than somebody who has paper. And most of us are not even working in our degree that they went to school for because you can't
Exactly.
find a job in it.
Yeah. And I was gonna pose that question to the both of you. For some people that has like they have 4 degrees. Okay. So they have a bachelor's in human resources. They have a master's in social work. They have they have another bachelor's in uh,
Another masters.
yeah,
They're
another
not.
master's in something else, right?
Mhm.
But 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 they're head of a department at the VA. They're head. They're like well, just say they work at a hospital, and I don't know.
They're not working in their field.
Right, they're
Bottom
not
line.
working in their field, but then now they're telling you, Sharon, about your business ventures and saying, well, that's good, Sharon, but if you do this and this and this, because I make these many zeros behind my name, I think that if you do this, you can enhance your business by doing so on and so forth. Would you take offense to that, or you say, like Fedora said earlier, oh, thank you for your advice, note taken. If it doesn't make sense to you what they're saying, how would you take that comment?
I wouldn't be offended because everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Okay.
And I don't have to take what you say just because you say it. Because again, what worked for you may not necessarily work for me.
Okay.
I'm always open to advice, but if you're trying to badger me with it, that's a different story.
Yeah. And sometimes we're around people that, like a friend of mine said, they need that red carpet moment where, they walk in the room and really nobody's paying attention to them because they're not concerned about how many degrees you have, but then the conversation does not relate to what they're talking about. So like you said, they gotta come in and throw their their degrees around, or they hear what you're talking about and you're saying, well, yeah, Fedora, I got these nice whatever I want to show you, these shirts that I'm doing that I want to show you. Maybe you'll be interested in purchasing some. And then they come in and talking about, well, I think you can enhance your business if you do this and this on a wider scale, Sharon. But like you saying, that works for you. However your business is structured works for you, and you're just getting Fedora in it so you can have another client, another outlet. I know you're a school teacher. Maybe I can get in your school and sell T-shirts in your school with your school name on it, and then I give you a little cut on the side. You put me in there, whatever. But this person is saying, well, on a wider scale, if you just get with this company, they can mega produce or whatever. But you're doing it by yourself. You say, well, I can do that myself. I can buy but he's trying or she's trying to tell you, well, if you do it this way, you'll make more money. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, how can you tell me that I can make more money by doing something that you're not involved in? You can't tell me or write a blueprint for me for something that you've never built. You can't give me directions to Mississippi if you've never driven to Mississippi.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your thoughts and I appreciate your opinion.
Okay.
But if you're comfortable working in your corporate America position, doing what you're doing, because if you could do it better than how I'm doing it, feel free to join me or start your own business.
Yeah, because some people aren't entrepreneurs. Like, my hat's off to a person, because I've never, like, even when I was young, and the how they get those fundraiser things, and the teacher says, oh, you have to sell this many candy bars and stuff. And I used to despise it so much. I would go and be like, Dad, we got another fundraiser. So he would take them, give me a check for all of the candy bars and send it back to school. And he would take the candy bars and put them in his office and, let whoever buy them, or he probably would just give them away, knowing him, and put them in his office. And that was the way. Because when my kids started with fundraising and all that stuff, they never liked it. So I would tell them from the start, tell your teacher, no, you cannot fundraise, because just give it back, leave it, because your mama is not taking them anywhere to sell anything, because I am a horrible seller. I am. That is not my lane. So so I knew from an early age that me being an entrepreneur was not it. Me depending on what do they call it? Your when you work in these jobs and you have to get so many clients or so many people to buy this.
Sales.
Yes, I would be broke. So I was a horrible salesperson. Commission, that's it. And if my job was based off of commission, I would not have a check at the end of the month. I would put in hours, but I would not have a check. So that was not for me. So my hat's off to anybody who runs their own business, who is an entrepreneur. I love it. I patronize it, but for me, my hat's off to them. And I really am intrigued by it, and much respect goes up to it, because it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work.
That it is. But I just kind of want to touch back on the person or the personalities of someone who always have to make it about them and dominate a conversation. I find that most of the time when a person needs to do that, they themselves have some deep-rooted insecurities, and they feel like they have to be the center of attention no matter what. And sometimes good or bad, as long as they're getting attention, that's what they're seeking. They feel like they need to be validated by other people.
Okay.
It's true.
I'm glad you touched on it because I was going to ask that question. That was going to be one of my next questions.
Sorry.
I'm glad you touched on it because I was going to ask that. Is it a mental thing? Is it something within them that they need to have that red carpet moment, as my friend called it? You know, where it's got to be about me. If conversation, if the conversation veers in another direction, everybody is in agreement with the conversation. Then you have to pull away from that conversation and talk about, well, or throw the I in there, or I have, or I've done.
Insecurities.
I've ran a few businesses, so I'm just trying to help you out by telling you this, and this. And I have degrees to back what I'm telling you. So as we talk about the book, based on, like you saying, Sharon, the experience, the hands-on experience, I built this without a book in my hand. I just said, this is what I want to do. I didn't have to sit in the classroom and somebody reading some charts or telling me to write a paper about what is the percentage of success for this type of business or this type of business. You said, this is what I want to do. I'm going to make it work for me. Do I need a book behind that?
Do you need, was that a question? I'm sorry.
Or a piece of paper. When I'm saying what you did, and people, you know, like I said, if it's internal for them, then do you feel like, you know, what you've done to accomplish, saying, I don't have a degree. However, I built this empire. I'm my own entrepreneur. I don't have to work for this person or that person to get six figures behind my name, because I make that myself. I didn't have to sit in the classroom to get that. So yeah, that's what, you know.
Can a person with no formal education be more intelligent than a person with a college degree? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, anybody can be smarter, and I don't really think it's even all about smarts. It's about sense. It's about common sense. You know,
common sense ain't common to everybody.
Thank you. It is not, and we see that often every day played out in television and, you know, on the news and stuff. You see that on a day-to-day basis. And so something that you can look at and be so simple, and then someone else, you're like, wait a minute, how did they come to this and not this? You know? So yeah. And is that due to them not being educated? Or is, you know, we then you could throw that question in there, like the way we would view something as opposed to another person. Does education play a part in it? So
I think with that, I think there are several things that would go into that. It goes into education, could be one, but also your demographics, as well as how you were raised. So, you know, there's a combination of things that make us react, think, or do the things that we do, or respond the way that we respond to whatever situation that it is.
And then Ms. Belton says, look at the president. You know, people buy degrees. So a degree doesn't always mean that somebody worked for it, which is so true. We've seen that played out. People have gone to prison behind that. You know, they've gotten out since. But yeah, people buy degrees. And yeah, a lot of people have, or people cheat their way through school. So, and I always say, you can always tell, because nobody knows. Once the degree is on the wall, nobody knows what kind of grades they got. Nobody knows what kind of grades the doctor got. But you can tell what type of grades they get when they are in that office, or you're having a conversation with them, or with surgeries, their track record. You can tell then what type of student they were, if they go that extra mile to look up something and not just give you the cookie cutter, you know, diagnosis and you know, which is incorrect. Instead of taking that extra mile and doing research and looking and being that advocate for their patients. You know, that next step, being that expert, that master at what they do. Then you can tell from a A to a D to a C.
So Fedora, let me add this in there, since you spoke about degrees. So let's use, I got a degree online from this university or college. You sat in the classroom. We're in conversation. Does your degree, because I got my degree online, And we talked about this, Sharon, because a lot of people was trying to discredit some of the people that were on the running for office down here in El Paso, because
Oh.
they got a degree from an online university,
Was it
and
accredited?
somebody else got a degree in the classroom. They're trying to say, well, what kind of degree is that? How is that accredited?
I mean, if it's an accredited university, it's
Right.
accredited, just like
Right.
if you
Right.
So
to sit in a class. And I think it takes more of a
More
discipline
discipline.
to
Mhm.
be online than it is to sit in a class, because you physically have to go to a class and your body is there. Sometimes your mind is not there. But online, you physically and mentally have to be there, because you get this work, you have to sit on your own time, do it, and regurgitate it back on the computer, and get into discussions on the discussion board and give your opinions and writing and all of that. So, like, as long as it's accredited, it's a degree.
Yeah.
And I've had both. So
yeah. And so what are your thoughts about people that say, well, you got an online degree? I was actually in the classroom, and mine was a little, harder than that. I had to
think they're ignorant. Me personally. I think it's ignorance now. I'm done with that.
Okay.
I think they're ignorant.
So Sharon, let me pose this question, because I have it on here. So let's say you're around a group of your friends, close friends of yours. Now I know how you said but this is your girl. This your girl. Y'all grew up together, but yet she had the type of parent that said, you're going to school. It's not an option.
Mm-hmm.
She was good or whatever, so she went to school. So now you having this conversation about your business, but she works for Macy's and she's the what's a CFO or
CEO, CFO,
whatever,
whichever one.
Right. So she's saying, well, girl, if you get on with this person, you can do this, and this, and enhance your business. While y'all having conversation, a group of women, y'all having a conversation. Your girl, y'all just talking about. She's saying, Sharon, your other girl saying, girl, you doing your thing, girl. I like that, and this, and this. And here it is, your friend with the degree that works for Macy's, and she's the top person up there. The conversation time kind of switches to, oh, if you had your degree, you could do this, and this, or you can own.
You would be better. You would be higher than what you are now.
Right.
So then my first doesn't matter.
This ain't no regular.
Doesn't matter, because this is how I feel about that. If this is my friend, I know their personality and they know mine. So therefore, we should not be tiptoeing through the tulips with one another. I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around you.
Write that down. Tulips.
I shouldn't have to, fear what I say to you or anything like that. I should be able to openly have a conversation with you, and we agree to disagree and move on. Now, again, at the end of the day, you can be the CEO, CFO, or whatever it is that you have behind your name, and you can have all the degrees and doing everything that you've done because you've gotten an education. And again, I'm like Fedora. I am not discrediting degrees, but you're working in reason and I'm working in revelation.
Hello, she said that. So Howard says, does being in the room with people with degrees make you feel inadequate?
Absolutely not.
You said,
what makes you more important than me?
Wow.
Yep. And that's what I've been saying. And
go ahead.
A listener is saying, Ms. Scott, she says that she only has certifications and she makes more than several of her friends with degrees. Wow. And that's what I'm saying. A degree doesn't always mean, that you know more or what have you, because a lot of people are not working in their degrees and certifications, most and another thing, most degrees that you get, like if you get a bachelor's or 4-year degree, you still, when you get into that job, you still have to get a certification. You still have to go and get these specific certifications for these jobs. So I don't know what the argument is about what is better or not, because for anything you do, you're gonna have to get some type of of certificates saying that, okay, I understand this, I know this. Even what do they call it? CEs, you know, where you go in and continuing education, right? In that job, you still have to go and work and get these certifications to say, okay, I still understand this, I still know this. They're not going off of your degree that you made. They want to know that you specifically know this job that you are doing and that you are competent and that you are good at this, and we can trust you in our business or whatever the case may be, and for you to do this job. So you always have to have a certification in anything. That's in law enforcement, that's in nursing, that's in any kind of medicine. You know, you still have to go and take those exams and do what you need to do in order to get those certifications. Teaching. So yeah, you have to have a degree plus the certification.
And also, with that being said, to kind of jump back and piggyback off of people being in the same field, I know for a fact, because, you know, we talk at work in my corporate job, I, again, no degree, and at least 2 people in the department with degrees, but guess who makes more?
You do.
That ain't right, Sharon. That ain't right. I'm telling you, that ain't right. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing.
Well, some people might feel that way. Some people may feel that way.
Yeah.
So, and they know it. You know, they know it as well. Because, like I said, we've had conversations and things, and again, I'm not going to dummy myself down because you have a degree and I don't.
Yeah.
So and then people that feel that they have to dumb down their conversation so that they can relate to what you're talking about because they have a degree and they don't feel like, you know, why should I have to change the way that I speak around them because they're using these big college words, as I call it. Fedora does that with me.
No, I do not. That's the way that I think. That's your problem.
I gotta check you on the side and say, what does that mean, Fedora?
Well, hey, that's pulling up your vocabulary. And at no point in time do I ever make you feel any type of way. And I hear words, when I hear a word on television or somebody saying something, or I see a word that I don't know, then what do? It's right at my fingertips. I grab my phone and I Google it. Like yesterday, I learned a new word, lupine. And I was like, what is lupine? It's a flower, but it's also in another language, it means wolf.
Right.
So then I knew the title of what I was watching meant wolf. So like, yeah. So I was like, okay, new vocabulary word. So that's how we build our vocabularies.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I definitely agree. For those who have degrees and feel that I can't keep up with their conversation, that's their issue, not mine.
There you go. Yeah.
I haven't said to them, oh, I don't understand what you're saying. One thing about me as well, again, I'm a straight shooter. So if I don't know what you're saying, I'm gonna say, hold up, what you talking about?
What does that mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people who use acronyms, because I know a lot of times people will start to talk and they'll use acronyms. And so if you're in a conversation and someone is using an acronym because they're in that same position or, you know, in that same field, and if I'm unaware of it, I'll be like, okay, or I'll ask like a close person if I'm in the conversation with them, you know, so I'm not getting a side eye from somebody like, what does that mean? Or sometimes, you know, I'll be like, okay, so what does that mean? And then they'll say it. And I don't think anybody should feel any type of way if you're in a conversation and you don't know what it means, because it's kind of rude sometimes to use acronyms. You do need to say it out if that person is not in that field in order for them, you know, to be involved in the conversation. So don't feel, you know, any type of way against yourself for asking, what does that mean? Or like I said, you always got your phone. Everybody always on their phone. Look it up. You can even speak it in there if you don't know how to spell it. Speak it into your thing, and Google will tell you what it means. So
yeah.
And if you are feeling some type of way because you don't know or you feel inferior to the people who may have a degree or may know more than you, that's personal. But if they're making you feel that way, you might want to surround yourself with somebody who is going to uplift you.
Yeah, I understand. Well, that was well spoken, Sharon. Girl, we glad you got you on it. You just like somebody said you a straight shooter.
I am, but thank you for having me.
So what I wanted to ask you, I had a question for Fedora, but we're going to talk about some of the billionaires and millionaires that don't have a college degree.
Yeah,
they went to college, but they didn't finish.
Yeah.
I think one of our listeners said Bill Gates. Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard University to start his company. Mark Zuckerman, he dropped out of Harvard University.
Remind me to say something after you finish giving this list. Okay, go ahead.
You got Larry Ellison, dropped out of Chicago and University of Illinois.
Who is Larry Ellison?
He's a Oracle and software. He owns Oracle and software.
Okay.
He's the third richest man in the world, according to.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you got Sheldon Adelson, Las Vegas Sands and Casinos, dropped out of City of College of New York.
Okay.
And the rest of them, they overseas.
Okay, so didn't I say remind me to say something after you said that?
Okay, and I want Julie Scott to bring up her what she said earlier, because I want y'all to touch on that as well. Go ahead, Fedora.
Okay, I'm just gonna make my statement. What were all of those? They don't look like me and you, right? They don't look like us, right?
Of course not.
Okay. So my point being said. All right, move on. Move on. Okay, I'm not getting into it. We'll get into it next month. I'm not getting into it, but I just made that statement. Okay. Those of you, we right here. Okay. All right, let's move on.
What about Dr. Dre?
What about Dr. Dre?
He a billionaire?
Yeah.
What about Puff Daddy?
But you didn't mention them. So I said who you mentioned. Thank you. So don't try to go back around to the start game. You passed the baton out.
This will be my partner in crime. This is how you gonna do me. This is my partner in crime right here.
All I said was they do not look like us.
Okay.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
So now I'm gonna bring up the other list of billionaires.
No, don't bring up the other list. Go
ahead.
I
didn't have it. I got it. It's sitting right in front of me. So a couple of mega celebrities that didn't go to college.
Okay.
You got Beyonce, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Whoopi Goldberg. I didn't know that. I thought Whoopi had a performing arts degree. I didn't know she didn't go to college.
Me either.
You know, so some of our African American entrepreneurs that was hustling.
Who else?
Huh?
Who else?
Oh Lord, you want to read my list? My list too long. We're not gonna do all that today, Fedora.
Okay.
We'll talk about it next month. How about that? Okay, so Julie Scott brought up about all of these people that are that have that type of money, have those degrees, but she says, what are their debt to ratio because of college loans?
Good point. I was going to touch on that, but I didn't. So I'm glad that she said that.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You have people who's gone to school. Again, nothing against degrees. You've gone to school, gotten a degree. As Fedora pointed out, you're not working in your field. You're $60,000, $70,000 in debt and only making $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
You can't even afford to pay your student loans.
Nope. Say that.
Yeah. And Julie talked about, certifications work just as well as a degree. I have a certification in Homeland Security. And I talked to some people from the Homeland Security Department. They said, hey, gotta get you higher than some of these people that's already here, because they don't have a degree. Like, really? She was like, yeah, you can pick your own schedule. She was trying to sell me the Homeland thing. I was like, and I had one person that had a degree that I was with, and she kind of discouraged me into getting the degree that I have now in criminal justice. I was like, well, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like when I did my internship, and I was like, I like this.
Yeah,
But
it's
this is cool to learn. I learned so much about the laws and
mm-hmm.
and working with them. But it wasn't about the money, Sharon. It wasn't about the money. It was about getting inside. And the same. And the chief told me, he said, you don't need a degree to be a police officer. All you got to do is go to the academy. That's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
To have the degree is a plus. But you don't need a degree to be a police officer.
You know what? Now we're gonna backtrack to that, and I think
Yeah.
a lot of them, with the problems that we're having now in the world, in the United States of these America, that we do need to make that a requirement that they do have a degree, because we can see that a lot of them that are involved in these situations do not have degrees, or they do not have common sense, or
there you go,
not have any type of outside of their four and no more. They do not have communication skills, cultural awareness. They do not have any of these things. So they do need some type of formal education in order to be around here policing anybody. Because that's the problem that we have right now.
What I'm talking about, we talking about college degree. We're talking about bachelor's and masters and associates.
Well, they need something. They need They need more than an AA.
But for
they need more than high school.
Like you said,
some of them coming out of high school and they're gun ho and they've never been experienced any other cultures. Maybe they need to go into the military to experience the world before they get out of here and put a uniform on and say, I swear to protect, my citizens, because it's a lie, because they're protecting their citizens, therefore, and no more people that look like them. But when it comes to everyone, they miss the mark. And so, yeah, for me personally, I think all of them need to have some type of degree, or the training needs to be longer than it is. It needs to be at least 2 years long.
At the academy?
Yep, they need to be in the academy for 2 years. They can be out on the road, but they need to be
at the academy.
Yes, they need to be somewhere learning something about how to interact with human beings, the other people that have breath in their bodies. They need to learn how to I say 2 years.
Okay.
So, all right, that's just my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion.
Okay, so, I used the wrong scenario. Let's use a different scenario. I know you agree, Miss Milton. I know you agree with her. I just do, somebody with a degree kind of try to make me feel like my degree didn't matter, or the degree that I was taking was a waste of my time. And I was like, what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel when I'm sitting in the classroom, I can relate. I can talk about it. I can't be a physical police officer because of my military injury. However, I was told, well, you can work in admin, you can work here. I was like, wow. So the degree I was in, and I felt like Sharon, I didn't want to say, well, thank you for your opinion. I said, okay. That's what I said to it.
Yeah, that's good.
But how did you feel about that? Did you feel like they were belittling you, or?
Yeah,
just trying to give you some
other information. I felt like she was trying to make me feel like I was wasting my time with this degree. Like I said, I just said, okay.
Yeah, that's a good response.
I think that required a response. You know what I'm saying? That's your opinion. You're in class just like me. We're taking one of the court required classes, but I look at it and say, okay, if that's the way you feel, I don't want to do that. That's just like Fedora. That's too much. I don't feel like writing a 20-page paper on some stuff that I don't really care about, because then I don't care about that. But when it came to writing about policing, like you talked about, Fedora, that's most of the stuff I talked about. How do we make our police departments better? How do we enhance the education at the academy? Those things I talked about, you know what I mean, and all the papers I wrote about, and I kind of became a stickler for that.
I like that. There's something that said change the word degree to education or training. Yeah, and people do need to be educated. So and I would say officers need to be educated for 2 years before they get out there trying to do anything with anybody. You need to learn. So yes, education, training. So because a degree can be bought. We know that. but you need some education and you need some training to be a master or some type of person that you know what you're doing. And so that goes from life experience, training, education, can be life experience, it can be book experience, whatever the case may be. But you need some type of backing that you're in it. Like Sharon said, don't try to tell me how to do something and you've never done it. That's crazy. Okay. Or you can say, let me hook you up with a person who is doing this. And anybody that's going into any field, you want to be around like-minded individuals.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah, you want to apprentice. So if you want to be a vet, you need to do some volunteer work at a vet or at a shelter. So anything that you want to do, you need to be around people that are doing it and pick their brains. Pick their brains early. Ask them what are the ins and outs. Like if you want to own your own business, if you want to, start your own practice, talk to people who are in that practice and who started those practices and find out, okay, what did you do to, what were your struggles when you first started out? What did you do? What was your plan that you started? And these people will sit down and talk to you and tell you. They love telling you their stories. It's just that you have to be, around those like-minded individuals and learn from them. Don't try to do it all yourself. That's our problem now. We don't want to come together and help each other to move forward. But we know we are powerful collectively, and we need to remember that mindset. Everybody's not out to hurt you or harm you. And when you run across those people, then you disassociate yourself from those people and get with like-minded people and people who want to build you up and help you and move you forward. And that's what we need. And everybody else can be left at the starting gate looking around like, oh, I don't want, bye. See you.
Well, Sharon, I want to sell t-shirts. Hook me up. Show me how it's done for free.
And you know what? I can tell you this. This is my thing. I have no problem mentoring people.
Okay.
What I have no problem with that. I want to win. I want to see you win. And that's just how I am. So if someone came to me and said, hey, how did you do this? Or how did you get started with it? And to be honest with you, the way that I started was simply, I was looking for something for a wedding or something that somebody was doing. And I was just like, you know what? I can make that myself. And that's literally how I got started.
Outstanding.
That's good. Yep.
That's good.
That's good.
But I also want to say too, as far as being in the workforce in corporate America, how a lot of places they do emphasize having a degree. What good is my degree without experience?
Because they always say it. We need you to have experience.
Yeah, on the application.
Always say it.
Yeah, a lot of the applications do say at least 2 years experience. So if I'm just coming straight out of college, how do I get a job? How do I get on?
How do you get experience?
Yeah, if nobody will take a chance. Yeah. And it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. Yep. I experienced that when I was in undergrad. That was the issue. How do you get experience when nobody will give you that experience to give you that opportunity, even though, and it's through the grace of God that usually you get a job.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, you can ask for all these, I call it their wish list. Just like they have a wish list, I have a wish list. I'm interviewing you just like you think you're interviewing me. You might not be a good fit for me.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when you're asking for all of these things, I can tell you whatever you need to hear for me to get my foot in the door. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you still have to train me.
Yeah. That's true.
So
that's true.
Angel says a lot of information is just that information. Lots of educated fools. What can you do? What can you do? Experience is wisdom. You need to apply what you've learned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's another straight shooter that I know there, Sharon. She gonna tell it like it is.
Yeah. How are you 27 coming out of college and being a VP of a company and you don't even know anything about the business?
You know something? Okay. I have a friend. I can't tell you what company he works for, but he left the company. He transferred to another division because of what you're saying. And I kept telling him, I said, man, because of because of the position that you hold, you have to have a degree, man. I don't care where you get it from. You need to get a degree, because if not, the first guy that comes in there with a degree, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna kick you out of that position. And a year later, guess what? Young guy comes in here, they say, hey, so-and-so, hey, I need you to train this guy. He has a 4-year degree. So my friend was like, well, ain't the one he had a degree? He applied for, well, you know, so he trained him. And I said, that dude gonna take your spot, man. I'm telling you, be careful. And what did he do? He trained him.
A year later,
you know, he was like, hey, man, we're going to slide you over here, but he'll still work under you, but he just in charge. So my man was like, no, nah, there's another position. The same position is in this other state. I'm transferring. No, y'all not about to, I trained that guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not about to work for him and y'all gonna make it look good on paper. And he's like, no. So he left and moved somewhere else, but he had to pay for all his, you know, his transportation and stuff because he wanted to transfer. They didn't offer him a transfer, and he just transferred. And then, you know, as always, no, we don't want to lose you, you know. But like I told him, that's the way that the society is, man.
Yep.
That's
our society.
It's a lot of schooling that's required. I think a lot of people put up a lot of schooling that's required, and some schooling you don't have to have a degree. You just have to have certifications. Like there's a lot of jobs that you got to have certifications, and you got to keep your certifications up, you know, to maintain the job. So, like Sharon saying, she's sitting up in there, got somebody position, and they got a degree. She need nothing, just hurt that person's feelings. I'm telling Sharon.
That's all right. Revelation. They working in reason, I'm working in revelation.
Yep, I want to read this one. At the end of the day, I value my degrees, and I firmly believe that FAMU and Florida State prepared me for all that comes with the workforce as a Black woman in America. I gained a lot more than book knowledge in college, and I would always encourage people to get some form of formal education.
Okay. Yep, that's true.
So I guess what she's saying, by being around, by the experience, she didn't necessarily need all that book knowledge to make her feel like, you know, more important than somebody else. You know what I'm saying? She knows she had degrees behind her, but she's still going to be, you know, intellectual person. You know what I'm saying? Where she can be around people and have a conversation about something and not say, well, I graduated from FAMU and I got another degree from Florida State. What you got?
No, it's not like that. Like I said before, I think it was before the show. It's about a person's character, right?
Yes.
And most times, that's just like, I'll give you the example. Somebody who's wealthy, you would never know. Somebody, you know, they don't flaunt it. Put it that way. They don't wear all of the labels. You know, they're not all, you know, in they wear regular jeans, maybe a pair of Levi's, a nice shirt. You know, shirt. If you don't know labels, you wouldn't know that it costs maybe what $1,000, right? They have not, you know, their shoes on. They could be some tennis shoes or whatever. You would never know how much they pay for it. So what I'm saying is they don't wear it on their sleeve. They don't flaunt it. But when you talk to that person, when you engage in a conversation, you might know that they have some money. They own this business. They have companies by their conversation, right? So therefore, when you're educated, you have a degree or whatever, you have trainings, you don't necessarily go around and be like, oh, I got this degree and no. But in your conversation with other people, people will be able to identify that, yes, this person has some type of formal education, whether it be a degree, training, what have you, because they know what they're talking about, right? They are speaking eloquently or what have you about the situation at hand. So you know that you can take what they're saying as probably something that's true. Even though, and we go back to degrees can be bought, right? So it's about your training, your education, something that you've had to make you either a master at that, or if you have a doctorate of that, or that you have your bachelor's degree of it, right? Whatever the case may be, or that you've had gone to and you specifically have a certificate, like I guess in the air conditioner, dealing with these different types of things that you have to do, contracting, whatever the case may be. You don't have to flaunt it. People will be able to know that you know what you're talking about, right? And that you've had some type of formal education or a certificate in it. So bottom line, I think you need some type of training or education in any profession that you're going to do, they're going to require you for that. But necessarily a 4-year degree, not necessarily. Now, if you want to be a doctor, yeah, you're going to have to get a medical degree. And I'm going to want you to have that. If you try to operate on me or prescribe me some pharmacist or prescribe me some type of medicine, yes, I'm going to need you to have that. Or anesthesiologist, I'm going to need you to have your medical degree and not just it be online. I'm going to need you, I'm going to need you to go somewhere that, has an accreditation.
They need to get them clinicals, huh?
There you go. I'm going to need you to do some practice or some cadavers or somebody before you try to handle me. So, yes. But,
Well, Sharon, it's been a pleasure having you today on Suite 915. We hope that you come back again and, tell it like it is once again about how to deal with some people in these certain situations. So could you tell the people relating to the topic today, give them a something to think about or some words of wisdom?
The only advice that I would have to anyone that's listening is basically surround yourself with people, as Fedora said, that's like-minded, but also that's uplifting you. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to feel less than or around anyone that's going to make you feel less than. Always remember that you are just as good as the next person. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you have or what you don't have. Your past does not dictate your future.
there you go.
Outstanding.
Awesome.
We
I love
appreciate
it.
that. Second that. I second that emotion.
And remember, favor ain't fair.
Yeah. Hey, Ms. Fedora, what you got for the people today?
Well, as always keep love in your heart. Hey, please stay safe. Wear your mask. Stay in the house. COVID is still out there. It's real. If you can get vaccinated, do what you need to do. Take your COVID test if you travel. When you come back, just stay safe. Yeah.
And to my family members that's tuning in today, if you get a chance, call Aunt May, text her, Zoom her. Today is her 98th birthday today.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, she's 98 today. And some people
happy birthday.
Say hey, but keep your distance. Your 6 feet distance. Keep it away.
Send her a Zoom call and sing happy birthday to her.
Say happy birthday, Aunt May, and then keep it moving. That's it.
Yeah. Aunt May know how to get on Zoom? Does Aunt May know how to get on Zoom?
Yeah. My cousin will show her how to get on Zoom. Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all ought to do a Zoom call for Aunt May and sing Aunt May happy birthday.
I'll tell her that today. When I get off the call, I'll tell her we need to do a Zoom call and happy birthday to her.
That would mean a lot. Do that.
Yep. So everyone, follow us on social media channels. Our handle is at Suite 915, and look for me, Curtis Smith, at host Curtis Smith, and Fedora Johnson at It's Me Fedora. That's how you got to say it, Fedora. It's me, Fedora.
Oh, is that how I have to say it,
Curtis? So send your questions and topics to the realsuite915@gmail.com. And let us know what your topics going to be. Remember, no topic is taboo. We thank you for tuning in. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter as well, and become a subscriber on our YouTube channel, the Real Suite 915, and buy us a cup of coffee. Cash App, it's $ Suite 915. I drink coffee, house coffee, pretty good. And Fedora and I sharing for next month. So Fedora and I are going to be going to support some Black-owned businesses here in El Paso. Going to try some vegan. I'm going to do the vegan thing with her again this year. One day, though. One day. We're going to do one day.
You know what? No, not one day. You're going to do 2 days. And if you keep talking, I'm going to make you have to cook something.
Oh, no.
2 days and cook an actual meal, Curtis.
Okay.
All right. That's your challenge.
Vegan burger. Hey, when you gonna wear your head down again, Fedora? Hey, Howard, Howard. That I call that the winter look. That's Fedora's winter look right there. That's the winter look right there. Hair down, everything. That's the winter look right there. That's it right there. I gave her in kudos. You want to go, and Julie Scott wants to go. So Julie, when we go, we're gonna let you know the vegan restaurant, if that's where you want to go. That's what we're gonna try first.
Mhm.
It's if you never eaten vegan, Sharon, it's okay.
Just
It's
okay.
good, Sharon.
I do
It's
want to
good.
try it.
Good. You'll like it. I promise you. Don't even fool around with Curtis. But it's really good. And I've been vegan 7 months now. So
Oh,
actually, yeah, I started off vegan and then we had a show, and the only thing that I missed was seafood. So now I'm on the pescatarian, but I'm still vegan, but I incorporate seafood only. So when I
okay.
want that seafood. So
Sharon, you know why she incorporates
pescatarian.
seafood?
What?
Her head was hurting. She was hungry. She was
I was
hungry.
not. I was not. I was not.
Working.
Well, all the vegetables and stuff. All of the primates, like the gorillas and the ones that are super strong, all they eat is vegetables. They don't eat meat.
Okay.
Yep. Think about it, Curtis.
Okay.
Watch
Yeah.
that video on Netflix. You'll see.
Okay. So, hey, thanks again for tuning in to Sweet 915. We'll see you next week. If you got topics that you want to hear us discuss and bring some of our experts on, just go ahead and hit us up in email on the Gmail. So, thanks again. Have a good
Thanks
week.
again for having me.
Hey,
Thank
thank you
you.
for coming, Sharon. We appreciate you coming
Bye.
from
You're
Chicago.
welcome.